Trust and obey, walk in his light. God is our guide, our strength and our sight. Even the way feels long, he is faithful, he's strong. Follow his voice, stay in his way, trust and obey. Trust and obey. Trust and obey. A red cow, spotless, perfect and whole, burned to ash outside the camp's control. Mixed with water to purify sin, God gave this law to cleanse from within. Touching the dead brought cleanness and loss, but cleansing came through the ashes and cross. A chalk we obey, though we don't understand. It's a holy command from the Lord's own hands.
Miriam died in Kadesh land, and soon there was no water at hand. The people quarreled and cried out loud, why did you bring us here? We're not proud.
They wished for Egypt, complained again, forgetful hearts in the desert plain. God said, speak to the rock and water will pour. But Moses was angry and struck it once more. Water still flowed, but God made it clear, you didn't trust me or hold me near. So Moses and Aaron, faithful so long, would not lead the people where they belong. Trust and obey, walk in his light. God is our guide, our strength and our sight. Even when the way feels long, he is faithful, he's strong. Follow his voice, stay in his way. Trust and obey, trust and obey. Trust and obey. Aaron climbed Mount Hor that day with Eleazar to pass the way. He took off his robes, the priesthood passed, then he lay down and breathed his last. The people wept for 30 nights, their Cohen God no let fought the good fight. Where the people complained as they journeyed on, and poisonous snakes came one by one. Many were bitten, hearts full of fear, so they cried to Moses, we sin right here. God told him, lift a bronze snake high, whoever looks up will live, not die. A picture of mercy, a symbol of grace. Healing came when they sought God's face. Then Aaron rose up with a sneaky fight, but Israel called on God with might. They won the battle and named the land, and Sihon and Og fell by God's hand. From battle to battle, the Lord gave aid. Each victory, his promise made. Trust and obey, don't go astray. God still leads us day by day. Speak with care and follow his plan. He knows the way to the promised land. Even when we don't understand, he's leading us with his mighty hand.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiteshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu ad b'ri Torah. Blessed are you, eternal, our Elohim, sovereign of the universe, that has sanctified us with your commandments and has ordained us in respect for the studies of your word, the Torah. Praise be your name forever. Hallelujah. Shalom, Mispaha, beloved Ahim. Blessings from the Most High, Yah. This is your servant and friend, Roy Ephraim Jaime, bringing you today's fourth day AliYAH, Parashat CHUKAS, found in Numbers chapter 20, verse 14 through 21, by Dr. Roy Carlos Reyes, International Ministries, Restoring the House of Israel. Hallelujah. There's a reality born of faith. Every mitzvah has a reason. However, One can only discover the reason if he is willing to fulfill the mitzvah unconditionally. At Sinai, the Jewish people blindly accepted the Torah. We will do even without understanding, and then we will hear and understand. Blind alliance opens our eyes to the secrets of the mitzvot. King David's words mirror this very sentiment. As for me, my prayer to you be at an opportune time. Psalm 69, verse 14. When is the time opportune? When the congregation prays communally. Whenever the community prays together as a community, excuse me, Elohim hearkens to accept our prayers. Our very willingness to turn to him in prayer without any preconditions causes him to become receptive. Faith creates reality. Creates reality. Hallelujah. In this fourth AliYAH, found in chapter 20, verse 14 to 21, we will begin reading verse 16, which reads, When we cried out to the Eternal, he heard our voice and sent an angel and brought us out of Egypt. Now look, we are in Kadesh, a village on the border of your territory. Rashi says that the angel spoken of here is Moshe, and that the prophets are also called malachim, angels, emissaries, messengers, as it is written in 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 16. But they mocked the angels, the messengers of Elohim, despised their words, and mocked his prophets, until the wrath of the Eternal arose against his people, and there was no remedy. Numbers chapter 20, verse 21. So Edom refused to let Israel pass through his territory. So Israel had to turn away from him. Edom's enmity against Israel has never ceased, as it is written in the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. Thus says the Eternal, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not revoke his punishment, for he persecuted his brother with the sword, and suppressed his compassion. His wrath continued to tear to pieces, and kept his fury forever. What Esau sowed against Yaakov in his descendants remains to this day. Esau had received Mount Seir from Yahweh, and so Israel had no right to make war against him and take any part of their territory, as it is written in Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 5 through 7. Do not provoke them, for I will give you nothing of their land, not even the footprints of a foot. For to Esau I have given Mount Seir as a possession. You shall buy them food to eat with money, and you shall also buy water from them to drink. For the Eternal, your Elohim, has blessed you in all that you have done. He has known your wanderings through this immense desert. For 40 years, the Eternal, your Elohim, has been with you. You have lacked nothing. Israel was commanded to bless his brother Esau with the purchase of food and drink, but he still did not want to let them pass through his territory. Because of the hatred he had, he could not be blessed by Israel. The same is true today of all those who hate Israel. Esau symbolizes the flesh. The Yetzer Hara will do. Israel symbolizes the spirit, the Yetzer Hatov. When the spirit wants to go through a path that has been entrusted by Yahweh, the flesh opposes it. The struggle between Israel and Esau represents the eternal struggle of every believer. The prophets show that Esau will continue to fight against us until he is finally destroyed. There is no prophecy that speaks of a restoration and a prosperous future for Esau, who is Edom. With the coming of Mashiach, his end will be total destruction, as it is written in Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1 through 6. Who is this that cometh from Edom, from Botzrah, with garments of bright colors? The latter, majestic in his garment, marching in the fullness of his strength. It is I who speak in righteousness, able to save. Why is your garment red, and your garments like those of one who threads in the winepress? I have trodden the winepress by myself. Of the peoples, no man was with me. I trodden them in my anger and trampled them in my fury. His blood splattered my garments and stained all my clothes. For the day of vengeance was in my heart, and the year of my redemption had come. I looked, and there was no one to help. I was amazed that there was no one to support. Then my arm saved me, and it was my anger that sustained me. I trampled the peoples in my wrath, intoxicated them in my wrath, and shed their blood to the ground. The Roman system, both political and religious, will be part of the trial against Edom. Let us read Numbers chapter 20, verse 17. It says, "Let us therefore cross your country. We will not pass through fields or vineyards, and we will not drink water from your wells. We will follow the high road, turning neither right nor left until we have crossed your territory." The phrase, "we will follow the royal road," or "we will go along the road of the kings," can refer to two situations. One, to maintain road that the king himself uses for his transit. The other situation, possibly to the path indicated by the king so that the people of the Eternal can travel through it. In both cases, it is an example of restraint. First, to the Eternal, and then to the authorities that he himself established. As Rabbi Shaul tells us in Romans chapter 13, verse 1, everyone must obey the governing authorities, for there is no authority that is not of Yahweh, and the existing authorities have been set up by Yahweh. The shortest way to Canaan from where Israel was encamped was to pass through the territory of Edom. The ambassadors sent returned with a refusal. The Edomites feared that the Israelites would harm them. If this numerous army had been under any discipline other than Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, there would have been cause for this zeal. But Esau, his descendants today, hated Jacob for the blessing. Now, when the blessing was about to be inherited, the hatred was revived. It should not surprise us that foolish men deny reasonable requests, and that those of us who enjoy Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh's favor are reproached by others, who zealously try unsuccessfully to be an obstacle to stop our blessing. Continue reading. Numbers chapter 20, verse 18. But Edom answered him, "You shall not pass through us, or else we will go against you with the sword." The answer really was, "I don't want you to pass through my land, and if you dare to pass, I will come out before you with the same sword with which my ancestors blessed me." In Bereshit, Genesis chapter 27, verse 22, it says, "Do not imagine that only because our ancestors pronounced the blessing upon you and our father Isaac heard and said, the voice is the voice of Jacob." And verse 40 says, "Now Elohim will hear your voice when you call him, because he also blessed us when he said, but the hands are the hands of Esau. You will live by your sword." Numbers chapter 20, verse 19. The Israelites said to them, "We will stay on the main road, and if we are our cattle, and if we or our cattle drink your water, we will pay for it. We only ask for the passage on foot. It is a small thing." Israel made it known that it was not necessary to pass through populated areas, but through uninhabited regions where there were no fields or vineyards, so as not to cause any damage. But if there were any, the commitment to restitute and pay for it was established. Numbers chapter, "For they will not pass away, and Edom went out against them with a large group, heavily armed." This is a conflict that is determined until the coming of Messiah Yahshua. As it is written in Amos chapter 1, verse 11, "Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, for 4, I will not revoke him, for he pursued his brother with the sword and restrained all godliness, for his anger was incessantly kindled, and his fury burnt without limit." What Esau sold against Jacob in his descendants remains to this day. Esau had received Mount Seir from Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, and so Israel had no right to make war against him and take any part of his territory. As it is written in Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 2, verse 4 through 7, "And charge the people with the following: You are going to pass through the territory of your relatives, the descendants of Esau, who lived in Seir. Although they will be afraid of you, be careful not to provoke them, for I will not give you out of their land even the footprint of a foot. I have given the mountain range of Seir as a possession to Esau. The food they eat, they will get from them for money. Even the water they drink, they will get from them for money. Truly, Yahweh, your Elohim, has blessed you in all that you have undertaken. He has cared for you in wandering this great wilderness. Yahweh, your Elohim, has been with you these 40 years. You have lacked nothing." Israel was commanded to bless his brother Esau with the purchase of food and drink, but he still did not want to let them pass through his territory. Because of the hatred he had, he could not be blessed by Israel. This is not the only example in which our people have appealed to dialogue and diplomatic agreement for the resolution of conflicts with enemies who carry old grudges and who do not conform to their role in the great divine drama. We see how this formula is used in the book of the Judges. Judges chapter 11, verse 12. Then Jephthah sent messengers to the king of the Ammonites, saying, "What have you against me that you have come to make war in my country?" What is interesting is how we can learn from this narrative that exposes the real reason for the irrational act, that ends diplomatic management. As long as the children of Israel did not have possession of that region, the Ammonites did not protest. Once they took office, then came the protest. The same is true today. Jordan had Jerusalem under its control for many years, but no one raised their voice calling for it or calling for it to be called an international city under the custody of the Vatican. It was enough for the children of Israel to take it, for the whole world to begin to protest and claim Jerusalem. Jephthah, the military hero of the example in Judges, sends word to the Ammonite authorities about what was narrated in Shoftim. Judges chapter 11, verse 26. While Israel has been dwelling in Jeshbon and its outbuildings, Aroer and its outbuildings, and all the towns along the Arnon for 300 years, why have you not tried to recover them in all that time? No matter what reasons we state, this is a battle that has no reason. Whatever and when this kind of confrontation arises, the force of reason will never be the solution. The sooner we understand this, the less time we will waste trying to reconcile the flesh with the spirit. So, what was Edom's problem? Edom is Esau, the brother of Jacob. His problem was that he never fully forgave his brother. His anger and bitterness was passed down from generation to generation. And when his brother Israel needed to pass through his territory to enter the promised land, he did not want to give in, even though he had made a lot of money selling water and food. He maintained his arrogance and did not want to humiliate himself. In the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11, it is written that, "Thus saith Adonai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not revoke his punishment, for he had persecuted his brother with the sword, and had suppressed his compassion. His wrath continued to tear to pieces and kept his fury forever." In AliYAH, chapter 1, verse 3 and 4, "The pride of your heart has deceived you, you who dwell in the clefts of the rock, in the heights of your dwelling, who says in your heart, who shall bring me to the ground? Though thou soar like the eagle, and though thou shalt lay thy nest among the stars, from thence I will cast thee down, declares Adonai." For these sins, anger, hatred, resentment, pride, and violence, Edom lost the right to a future. As it is written also in AliYAH chapter 1, verse 18, "Then the house of Jacob will be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau will stubble. They will burn them and consume them, and there will be no survivor of Esau's house. For Adonai has spoken." There is no prophecy that speaks of the restoration of Edom in the end times. So, with this AliYAH, may the Eternal reveal every kind of resentment and bitterness in our hearts, so that we do not lose friendship with our brothers and sisters and our inheritance in the world to come. He who does not forgive his brother from the heart of his trespass will never be forgiven by the Eternal. But he who knows how to forgive as the Eternal forgives will be forgiven, now and forever. Hallelujah. This concludes the 4th AliYAH. Hallelujah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiteshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu ad debri Torah. Blessed are you, eternal, our Elohim, sovereign of the universe, that has sanctified us with your commandments and has ordained us in respect for the studies of your word of the Torah. Hallelujah. May you all be blessed and may you continue having a beautiful day. Hallelujah. Shalom Aleichem.
Trust and obey, walk in his light. God is our guide, our strength and our sight. Even the way feels long, he is faithful, he's strong. Follow his voice, stay in his way, trust and obey. Trust and obey. Trust and obey. A red cow, spotless, perfect and whole, burned to ash aside the camp's control, mixed with water to purify sin. God gave this law to cleanse from within. Touching the dead brought cleanness and loss, but cleansing came through the ashes and cross. A chalk we obey, though we don't understand. It's a holy command from the Lord's own hand.
Miriam died in Kadesh land, and soon there was no water at hand. The people quarreled and cried out loud, why did you bring us here? We're not proud.
They wished for Egypt, complained again, forgetful hearts in the desert. Hey. God said, speak to the rock and water will flow. But Moses was angry and struck it once more. Water still flowed, but God made it clear, you didn't trust me or hold me near. So Moses and Aaron, faithful so long, would not lead the people where they belong. Trust and obey, walk in his light. God is our guide, our strength and our sight. Even when the way feels long, he is faithful, he's strong. Follow his voice, stay in his way, trust and obey. Trust and obey.
At your feet, here I am, I bring my heart to you. All my fears, all my doubts, I lay them too. Through every night of pain, I lift my soul here again. At your feet I fall, I surrender all, every wall, every chain, I let them fall. Take my heart, take my soul, make me whole. Here am AliYAH, I am yours alone. Shadows fall and I can't see the way. Your light reminds me you never walk away. Every burden, every sorrow that I bear, I place in your hands, hear my prayer. At your feet I fall, I surrender all, every wall, every chain, I let them fall. Take my heart, take my soul, make me whole. Here I am, AliYAH, I am yours alone. I trust your love, even when I don't understand. I rest in your mercy, held in your hand. You are my hope, my refuge, my friend. At your feet I fall. I surrender all, every wall, every need. I let you fall. At your feet I fall. I surrender all, every wall, every chain. I let them fall. Take my heart, take my soul, make me whole. Here I am, oh yeah, I am yours alone. Rekanino fel, anima firet kuni. Kokir kosholot, anima fleotam. Kaket libi, kaket nafshi, aseoti shalem. Hineni Elohaya, ani leveka. At your feet I fall. I surrender all, every wall, every chain. I let them fall. Take my heart, take my soul, make me whole. Here I am, oh yeah, I am yours. At your feet, here I am. I come just as I am. All my life, all my dreams, I place in your hands.